Deputy President Paul Mashatile is expected to deliver the eulogy at the special official memorial service of former Labour Minister Membathisi Mdladlana today. Mdladlana passed away at his Cape Town home last week at the age of 72. He was the country's longest-serving Labour minister, having served from 1998 up until 2010. Newzroom Afrika's Vuyo Mvoko joins us live from Cape Town. Vuyo, of course, a lot of people having spoken about how he really was a salt of the earth, a minister really caring about the man on the ground. One wonders what is going to be said, particularly in this memorial service.
Well, no doubt a lot is going to be said, Naledi. I mean, since his passing, many people have said, have remembered him in the best way possible. And some of them, of course, will be speaking here. Ex-cabinet colleagues will be speaking. Former DGs who served during the time he was a minister, neighbors, but also, of course, family. And as you said, the Deputy President will be delivering the eulogy right at the end of this memorial service. We do understand that the Deputy President has indeed arrived, and so has the family. A short while ago, we were in fact outside the Mdladlana household, where the family at the time were preparing to come over. But right now, we are at the front entrance of G. Jakes Gerwel Hall, which is where the memorial service is going to take place over the next few hours. And with me right now is an ex-cabinet colleague, Buyelwa Sonjica, the former Minister of Water and Environmental Affairs, who is going to talk to us very briefly about just how you will remember this man you served with in the executive.
Thank you very much, Vuyo. I appreciate the opportunity that you have given me. I met Mr. Mdladlana, or Comrade Mdladlana, as we affectionately know him, when we came into Parliament as members of Parliament of the first democratic Parliament. A very robust person in debates. He was very robust, and he liked to argue. He liked debate, and very political. But I had known him before then at a distance. I knew him as a president of SATU when I was a member of SATU in a branch at Zwide. But then it was a pleasure meeting him as a cabinet colleague. Mr. Mdladlana was very forthright. He spoke truth to power, very honest. He would just say it as it is in your face, without any fear. I can sum him up as somebody who was brutally honest and very, very, very humble, very committed to the plight of the poor, especially the workers. So he was very dedicated as a public servant.
Was he as robust inside, in conversations or discussions or debates inside cabinet, as he was outside? I remember some of his pronouncements or engagements in portfolio committees, for example, but also outside politically. And the reason I'm asking this is because in his book, the late Kada Asmal talks about some of the ministers' performances and their inability to not only debate, but to even raise their voices within the executive.
Well, as I said earlier on, he was fearless and he spoke truth to power. So that didn't matter where or what platform he was in. He would raise his voice on any matter that he felt that needed to be raised, especially if it had to do with some injustice that he was concerned about. So he was very, very open, forthright, and assertive, so to speak.
And we, of course, having this conversation at a time your organization, though you are retired, is busy looking at what went wrong, how we're going to fix things, and so on. But also this conversation is taking place at a time where you are into uncharted territory, to the extent that even though there was a government of national unity right at the beginning, the conditions are completely different right now. Your organization lost its majority. It had to go to bed with other people in order to be able to govern. Just your thoughts around what is going on now, and taking into account how you and Membathisi Mdladlana and others, the Titombowenis who just passed on, would have looked at the situation given all the challenges that we're seeing right now.
Well, it is unfortunate that the ANC ended up losing the elections and its power to govern this country. Because for that reason, we are now unable to pursue the progressive agenda as we would have wanted. We have to make compromises, and that is a fact. And in a way, that is going to delay our progressive agenda. And really, it doesn't augur very well. Some of us are very concerned, and we wish that we could be able to wear our boots and go back to the field and work hard to ensure that the ANC regains its power. But it is what it is. We have to compromise, and one of the biggest compromises was to accept the GNU. But the ANC needs to work very hard. We need to work very hard on the renewal program and ensure that we regain our power. There's something encouraging if you look at the universities and the student movement. That is beginning to happen, that the student movement is beginning to come back to the movement. And that should augur well, and that should encourage ANC members. But we can only achieve these things if we all flock into our branches and begin to look at the state of the organization and what my contribution should be in ensuring that the ANC retain its glory days. But for now, if we're sitting back and complaining, nothing is going to happen.
Let's leave it there for now. Thank you very much for your time. Buyela Sonjika, ex-cabinet colleague of the late Membathisi Mdladlana, paying tribute, but also, of course, Membathisi Mdladlana himself, having been a political animal. Days like this, or occasions like this, get used to then reflect also on the broader body politic. And that, in fact, is what is no doubt going to happen here over the next few hours as that memorial service goes on. It doesn't look, though, it doesn't look like the proceedings are about to commence anytime soon. The hall is still half full or half empty, depending, of course, on how you look at it. But as soon as we get a signal, we'll indicate to you. For now, though, I'm going to hand back to you in studio, Naledi.
Thank you so much for that. That there is, of course, Vuyo Mfoko bringing us the latest on that. And he'll be keeping us updated on the funeral or memorial service, rather, of the former Labour Minister. Let's listen in as they sing the national anthem. was the national anthem there, sung in Cape Town for the memorial service of the longest-serving former Labour Minister of our nation, former Minister Membathisi Mdladlana. We'll keep